Wait,
Where is this located?
hold on. Donnell Rollins, fourth member of the Breakfast Club. I started the question to peg or not to peg. What's up? What's up?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Shauna.
Shauna. That's your birth name?
My birth name is Sean, S-E-A-N.
And you flipped it.
No, it's just a nickname that was given to me. We're writing a book and...
Who is we?
Me and my co-author.
Who's your co-author?
Her name is Dr. Kirsten Harrison Jack.
Dr. Kirsten Harrison. And
Yes.
what's the book about?
It's about my life story. It's a biography. It's about me growing up not knowing who I really am.
And when did you find out who you really were?
About 5 years ago.
All right, I'm assuming you're over 30.
I am. I'm 52 years old.
52 years old, so you found out who you really were 5 years ago?
Yes.
And how was that?
Well, thanks to the law enforcement and this great community,
Popo.
this great community called La Jolla and California. California is a very special state. I think most people don't realize this is a great place for people who don't understand about just trying to make a living and being what you want to be, and to each their own.
So this town is not a good place for that?
I think California overall is okay, you know?
So
It's
what
all
would
right.
what would be the ideal place for a place that people would be accepting of any lifestyles?
Good question.
And they would be accepting of any lifestyles, your thought process, and you would not ever feel uncomfortable. Where's that place?
Wow. Well, besides
Heaven! Yes!
Yes, of course.
We both agree with heaven. All right. So when's your book coming out?
Thank you. It's been 2.5 years, and last year we were planning on moving to the city of San Francisco, California.
Okay.
I went up there 4 times, and we decided that it's best that I stay here in Southern California.
Right.
I mean, it's really expensive. I went to Sacramento too, which is the state capital.
Right.
And I think if you go and you make a difference with yourself, I mean, you can use a phone or you can go on the line and email, but when you go to the state capital and represent yourself, that means you care. So I chose to go up there for a trip to meet the lawmaker and say, hey, look, I'm a little different than most people.
Yeah, I would say that.
I'm intersex. So
What intersex? What the
Yes.
fuck is intersex?
I love it. Okay. So when you were born,
Right.
the doctor pulls you out of your mom's womb.
Right.
And the doctor is the only person that gives you a sex. And so,
Wait, the doctor's the only person that gives you a
right.
sex?
Like the doctor has the only power. The doctor is the only person that says, okay, you're male, you're female. Nobody else can do that but the doctor. So the doctor comes in and says, okay, you're a male, you're a female. But in my case, I have what you call ambiguous genitalia, which means, right, I was born with male-like parts, but I have a uterus and a cervix and a vagina.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait a minute. Are you telling everybody that you have a uterus,
And a cervix.
a
Yeah.
penis, a cervix,
Well,
and a
it's called
vagina?
A phallus. It looks like a penis, but it's not.
All right, I'll take your word for that. I'll definitely take your word for that. Yo, you said
But
some
I
shit
do
never...
have doctors. Doctors are the ones that have told me this, of course, because I have to have proof. So
Are these witch doctors?
No, they're not witch doctors.
Are these doctors, they go to college?
Yes.
All right, it's not like Dr. Dre or anything like that,
No,
right?
of course not.
All right. I've seen you. I've been at the show. I've been at the show all week. I've seen you walking
So
the streets
you're
every
the
day.
Breakfast Club. I've heard about the
No,
Breakfast Club.
I'm not the Breakfast Club.
Oh.
Charlemagne, you know the Breakfast Club?
I've heard of it.
Well, Charlemagne the God. I don't know why they call him God. DJ Envy.
Yeah.
He makes you apologize.
Of course.
Angela Yee. She's conflicted about everything. She drinks a lot.
Yeah.
And they do a thing called A Man on the Street Too Soon.
Yeah, of course.
And the question of the day was, have you ever heard of to peg or not to peg? And I don't know how this conversation started. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
Have you heard of pegging?
No, sir, I haven't.
I cannot believe you don't know what pegging is.
I don't.
All right, you're intersexual. You have all type of organs. Whatever.
Yes.
Pegging is when someone is in a relationship
course.
and the female decides to use a strap on
my,
and
of course.
penetrate the man. Do you
Oh, my
think
God.
that's an accepting sexual practice? How do you feel about
Whoa,
that?
what?
I already know the answer to this, but you can tell me.
I'm sorry, but with the LGBT community,
LBG?
right? LGBT.
I know the letters.
Right. Now, I've worked with them. 4 years ago, I had a chance to work with LGBT counselors.
Okay.
And I also went to a support group for transgenders who have family and friends who are their support group, and they invited me to come and talk to them. And as an adult, it's consensual. I mean, if it's consensual.
Yo, you kind of look like me, bro. You know my father's son. You're not my brother, are you?
No.
No, but it's consensual. Continue.
Right. So if you're over the age of 18 or over the age of 21, and you find somebody and you want to do whatever, the whole idea is try to keep it private. I mean, if you want to go on YouTube or whatever and tell people your business, that's one thing. But
Right.
I think it should be between two consensual adults. And if they want to share information to people that they trust, then so be it. But
So
you know,
you saying that you support
to each their
pegging
own.
to each his own. You
Yeah.
support pegging if it's between two consensual adults, right?
I do. As
And
long
if another person, if one person doesn't consent, they going to fucking jail. You just got accused. What do you want to say to the world, Sean?
I want to say thank you and having the courage to come and talk to me, because people don't know what it's like to not know. And I
Right.
think ignorance is not bliss. I mean, what you don't know can hurt you. And I appreciate you and the Breakfast Club who wanted to get to, you came to me and you wanted to talk to me, and I really do appreciate that.
I got one real quick
Sure,
question
of
for you.
course.
Quick. What was it about vagina that turned you off?
Well, God bless you. Oh, good question. Well, you know, I don't know. I think growing up as Sean,
Sean.
you know, I played college basketball.
Nigga, I knew you could hoop. I knew you could hoop, son. Okay, go ahead.
I played college basketball, and so I had to date girls. I mean, not had to, but it was just the norm that Sean would date girls, and so I never really felt anything up towards them. It was
Okay.
just like something I had to do, like high school prom or things like that. And so I thought for a while, am I lesbian? Because I always thought.
How you thought you was lesbian? You had a dick, bruh. Oh yeah, because your uterus and stuff. I'm sorry. All right. All
Well,
right.
I
go
was
ahead.
18 and 19, and so I really thought, I knew I wasn't gay, but I just couldn't figure out what was wrong with me.
Right.
So,
There was nothing wrong with you. You just didn't find out
Right.
who you were, right?
yeah, so.
It took you another 35 motherfucking years, right? Right? You're like, you know what? I'm just still dabbling with this thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and so for me, being intersex, it's confusing even talking to my
Intersex, we
co-author.
talked about that earlier. Go
Right,
ahead.
because my co-author is a doctor of psychology, and she tells me sometimes too, it's like talking to transgenders, my body changes, so my feelings toward the opposite sex as Shauna is more natural, but I tend not to date. But I don't like, I respect lesbians and bisexual women.
You should.
I
You
just
used to
don't-
think you were one.
Right, I
Okay.
just don't like, I'd rather prefer to be single. But
Gotcha.
when it comes to being a lesbian or bisexual woman, I don't think that's for me.
And I'm telling you, I was coming.
Right, like I respect Ellen or the WNBA. I think they're great women, and I know a lot of them are lesbian, and I respect the lesbian community. I just don't know anything about it.
Do you get harassed? Do you get harassed by people? Like, do they come up fucking with you all the time?
What a great question.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'5",
You 6'5". How much you weigh?
210.
You 6'5", 210. They
Yes.
fuck with you, but you gonna put them paws on their ass. I bet you put them motherfucking paws on them.
Well, see, as you know, we live here, I live in the Southwest, and here in San Diego, it's 6% black.
Okay.
So if there's 100 people in a room, how many are black? 6.
Right.
That's San Diego. Down south, it's much different. So for me, believe it or not, sometimes I feel not like I'm isolated or lonely. It's just that there's not a lot of people like me.
I understand.
And right, so down south, there's so many black people.
Right.
But here in
Sometimes black
California,
people can be scary,
it's
sometimes.
6% black.
Right.
I mean,
So you never
once
see
again,
them.
if there's 100 people in a room in San Diego, 6 are black. That's
Right.
it. So I do live here in La Jolla. I don't see a lot of black people. My neighbor, she's a choreographer, and so, you know, she's black, but that's basically it. But, you know, I don't see a lot of people.
Black Lives Matter. We need some more black people in La Jolla. Yo, thank you for your time, man.
Of course.
You enlightened me on a lot of things.
Thank you.
All right,
Oh, my
last thing.
goodness, yes.
What do you want to say to the Breakfast Club?
Breakfast Club, what an honor it is to get a chance to meet you. This is a shock. Good luck to you in your ventures. And remember, have fun in public radio and television. And remember, we have hearts, okay? So just
There you
learn
go.
to love, okay?
Learn to love. It's all love. All right, Sean.
Thank you so
man.
much.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.